Welcome to another Creaky Gamers Battle Report. Let's hope they know what they're doing. It's Warhammer the Old World. Creaky Gamers a go.
Okay, well this is a 2250 point list, and I just wanted to try something a little bit different. I'll call this my silly list. No orcs, no black orcs, and no wyvern, and they're led by a level 4 orc weird knob, Shuzag the idiot. He is flying around on his magic carpet with the idol of Gork. I've got a couple of level 2 shamans as well, Night Goblin shamans. Nothing special except the ruby rings on one of them. And this guy with the orange hair, he's a war boss. That's Smart. Now that's Walloper. He's got Walloper's one-hit wonder. This guy is Smarty Pants. He's got the Thinking Hawk's hat, the Charm Shield, and the choppiest chopper. Yeah, and the other guy, Baldy, this guy, he's just got a great weapon. So I've got 3 goblin heroes on wolves to run around, harassing people, chopping things up. We'll see how they go. So I've got 6 characters. Then I've got a couple of units of Spidey Riders. I think maybe I should I've got 20 of those, so I can make a big unit with the spider banner. I've got some fanatics, just so a bit of a threat against knights and things, and my orc chariots. And then here I've got my doom divers. Sometimes they do well. And my spear chuckers. Bolt throwers weren't doing anything, so I tried to drop them for a stone thrower, which is cheaper than 2 bolt throwers. There's the Spidey Riders, the green mob. And then, newly painted, I've got some squig hoppers. I've got 10 squig hoppers with a boss. They've been on the mushrooms. Look at this guy's face. So we'll see how they go. 10 of them. They're newly painted little guys. And on a whim, I bought a box of Wolf Riders. I painted heaps of these up about 20 years ago, so it was nostalgic putting these guys together. So 13 of them. They have got feigned flight and the banner of iron resolve, spears and light armor. So I can drop a couple of those characters in that unit, make a tough little goblin, fast goblin unit. But we'll see how we go. I just wanted it's 2250 points, and I thought I'll just try something different. Leave the wyvern and the black orcs at home and squeeze in more units for a bit of fun. So it's a fun list. I still have a bit of threat. So got some long-range threat, got the chariots. Could probably swap those for goblin wolf chariots, because I do have 3 of them. There'll be more goblins in it. And the fanatics and the short bows on the units of 30 night goblins are okay, but I don't really have any grindy, fighty combat units. My plan is to have those heroes on the wolves riding around, harassing things, or maybe they could jump in the unit of wolf riders. Anyway, it's a fun list, and we'll see how they go. And our first opponent is dwarves.
Upload right. Oh, except for that one guy. That's really annoying.
So these are scouts. Yep. What are they called again?
Iron Drake.
Iron Drakes with the troll hammer torpedo. Yep. This is a very nice anvil. Yeah, I like it. Yep. And this is a Doom Seeker.
Yep.
These are posing as Longbeards. Is that the BSB, or the BSB standing behind him?
Oh, yeah.
Does he want to go in there? He's going in there.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. That's your Bugman's cart. There's another Doom Seeker. There's the King. Oh, he looks very nice. And they're just warriors.
They're Royal Clan Warriors.
Royal Clan Warriors. All right.
Slightly better.
Right, slightly better, yep. All right, more of the Iron Drakes. A unit of 9? 10. 10. 2 bolt throwers on the hill.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, well, I think you'll agree it is a very nicely painted dwarf army. All right, so there's Shuzag the idiot with his flying carpet. And then that's the level 2 with the ruby ring of ruin, and he's in some night goblins there, and chariot out that flank. And then there's the other level 2 in with those goblins. And then I had to put the hoppers out the back here because I was worried about his scouts coming on behind me. So they're out the back. They're in reserve. I don't want them to die without seeing what they do. So I'm just going to keep them safe. Got a little artillery hill there with the Doom Divers on the top and the Stone Thrower out the back. There's the Wolf Riders. Got a couple of characters in there. And there's the Spider Riders, and there's another chariot out that flank. There's my new Rock Lobber. So that's the deployment. I've deployed mainly, we're playing Battle for the Past, so we're playing lengthways. So I mainly deployed on my side of the table because I hate reaching over the other side. So a bit of a lazy deployment from the boys, but that's the situation. Battle for the Pass towards our fate against the dwarves.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Okay, turn 1, we went first. The Orcs and Goblins went first. And I've just sort of shuffled forward. I've got a character. Baldy is in this unit of Night Goblins. I'm going to be out of range to do any shooting with my short bows. And I forgot to move that chariot over there behind the building. But I do pepper him with some shots and threw out a foot of Gork in front of him. So I'm going to kill a couple of the Iron Drakes here. I'll put the foot of Gork out there. And then on his turn, his bolt throwers are just in range and they shoot. I killed a couple of Iron Drakes, hooray. And then his bolt throwers on the hill shoot and destroy one of my chariots. My unit of Night Goblins in the front here with Baldy. Baldy's leading them. They're going to take some casualties from them. And they rolled an 11 for their panic. So they fall back in good order through everybody. So they're going backwards. So Baldy's in there leading that unit. They've gone backwards, took a few casualties from the scout shooting, and I lost one of my chariots to the bolt throwers. So the bolt throwers and the anvil, etc., I think it was the bolt throwers, just skewered one of my... There's the bolt throwers up on the hill. They skewered one of my chariots. I've lost a chariot on turn 1, and the Night Goblins are going backwards.
Turn 2.
Alright, so looks like turn 2, and we've moved up again, and I've lost one chariot on this flank, so I decided to send another one in. So I sent another chariot in there. I should have been more brave and sent both chariots in at once up there, up that flank, but a bit too hesitant, and I'm just feeding him one chariot at a time. So that chariot's gone up that flank. You can just see it at the bottom there. I've thrown out a pillar of fire and put itchy nuisance on that unit of hammerers or longbeards, whatever they are. Short guys. They've got the pillar of fire in front of them now, and I've been peppering them with some shooting. And his crossbows and the anvil are doing a bit of good work with the remaining Iron Drakes there. Plus his two bolt throwers on the hill. I think they destroyed a chariot, then they're not going to do much after that, I don't think. And here comes the king. So with the cart, making them a little bit faster, the king is just going for it. He has to. And because we're playing lengthways, I can't really get my Wolf Riders around onto a flank or something, which was my intention with them. So they're kind of stuck directly in front of the king's unit. So it's going to be time for some fanatics soon from that unit, the other unit that fled. So he's a bit worried about the pillar of fire. He just moved through it. He's going to do some dangerous terrain tests, and then the pillar of fire will move back through them. So it's a bit of a pain for dwarves having to face pillars of fire and vortexes and so on, especially if the caster stays out of range to dispel. And then, yes, of course, that red wound counter is where the other chariot. So he's killed two chariots, and they haven't even struck a blow. So 2 chariots down.
Turn 3.
Scary for the goblins here. I don't know what we're going to do. It's time to release the fanatics. So we start. Okay, so we've got the fanatics have been released, and they've made a mess of this unit. I think I've also cast itchy nuisance on them as well. That's what that little orange token is, and the pillar of fire. Done a wound to that Doom Seeker, and then he's got another Doom Seeker on the hill, and the king's unit about to come in. Okay, so that's the situation. So the king has marched around the hill. I've got the hoppers behind here, and I'm tossing up whether I've made a bit of a mistake here. I've moved up and I've exposed my flank to the King's unit, and he's got a Doom Seeker up there and another Doom Seeker there, and the Fanatics are whizzing around. So I've made a bit of a mess of that unit. The Hammerers or Longbeards, they've come up the middle there. I would like to get my Wolf Riders around on a flank, but I can't. He's got a big unit of Iron Drakes there, so anything that goes and stands in front of them is going to die, especially Wolf Riders. So my Wolf Riders are kind of stuck here. They can't really manoeuvre. I don't want to get past the King's unit and do something, but they're kind of stuck. So my idea of manoeuvring the Wolf Riders around on a flank and causing havoc isn't going to work on Battle for the Pass here. So there's the Iron Drakes on his left flank haven't fired a shot because I don't want to go and stand in front of them. And then we'll come to his turn, and he's going to have an option here to charge. There's only about 3 guys left. I think his battle standard bearers in the unit with the champion and the musician or something. So they've taken a few casualties, and the King's unit's taken a few casualties as well. The Spider Riders have been shooting at them, Doom Divers and Rock Lobbers at them, and he's been shooting at me as well with his bolt throwers. Now, we're measuring the charge here, and he's deciding whether he wants to charge with the King's unit into the flank of my Night Goblins, and I'm thinking about maybe I'll flee, but if I do, I'm in trouble, so I think I've made a bit of a mistake here with the Night Goblins. They'll be able to stand and shoot with their short bows at the BSB's unit. So he's going to declare a charge with the Doom Seeker down the hill. Apparently they have Swift Stride as well. That helps them get in. And the King's unit. So they're both charging. The Doom Seeker and the King's unit are into my Night Goblins here. Plus his Battle Standard Bearers unit are going to go into the Night Goblins. They're going to run the gauntlet of the stand and shoot. And that's the situation. So in they went. The battles they made it in there. And then we'll see if the King can make it. He probably needs a 6, at least a 6 to get in there to make it. Wheel around and get into the flank. He rolls a 5. Not quite. So there, 5 and a 1. So he's not quite going to make it with the King's unit into the flank. So that we're just measuring it out with the wheel and so on.
Okay, then,
but the Doom Seeker coming down the hill, he's going to make it.
Good.
6.
Can you roll another 6? Another 6, mate. Come on.
This is your. So what are you going? He's going downhill, and he gets an extra. You can kill my wizard
Oh, yeah, I can actually target it.
if you want to. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so the Doom Seekers have got something called, I think it's Into the Fray or something, an extra D3 charge distance, so they're deceptively fast. I think they get the benefits of their little cart as well. And then nobody wants to be a Night Goblin champion. Those little bosses, they take a lot of challenges. Occasionally they win one, very rarely though. So we're going to lose that challenge. I think the Doom Seeker here he does impact hits and flails about the unit, and we lose that combat. We only fall back a couple of inches, so they don't get to break through. Yeah, so I lose that challenge. The little boss dies. We fall back a couple of inches, which is good for me because what happens is they don't bust through everybody, and it stops him overrunning into my hoppers, which are behind them. So the Night Goblins held on bravely and only got pushed back a couple of inches.
Turn 4.
Alright, so we're into turn 4. Plenty happening here as we swirl around the table here. My Wolf Riders have ducked past the King's unit. I did this out of order, but my opponent let me get away with it here. I meant to move the Squeak Hoppers first. The Squeak Hoppers move in the compulsory phase, so they should have moved before the Wolf Riders, but the Wolf Riders weren't in the way, so the Squeak Hoppers rolled a big 11 or something to get into the King's unit. So they're going to go into the King's unit, and I got the Wolf Riders have snuck past the King's unit, but now they're going to be standing in front of the Iron Drakes there, so they've got to do it eventually, so they're going to run the gauntlet of the Iron Drakes, and then there's my Squig Hoppers. So I think we lined them up correctly. They're in skirmish formation, and he's 5 wide, so I've gone 7 wide with my hoppers and get my impact hits and everything. So we'll see how they go. And then still got the Spider Riders popping a few shots and just staying away from the Iron Drakes. And then his BSB's unit, well, there's the combat there, go, the Squig Hoppers. They're going to make a mess of the King's unit. Look at that. They've killed about 6 or 7 of them. And then the King's going to swing back at them. But I was pretty surprised. They got impact hits, and the Gobs and everything do a bit of damage. They're Royal Clansmen or something, so they're not the toughest dwarves, but they did pretty well. So the 11-inch charge or something, and then the King, he kills 3 of them. So I'm going to win a combat there versus the King, but the King doesn't run away. And then the Doom Seeker here, he's going to tear into this unit and the BSB. I'm going to challenge with my Shaman this time, and his champion accepts. And then there's hardly any of those Night Goblin archers left, which opens up the table to him here. So that Doom Seeker is going to go into my to Shugrat the idiot there, Shugrat the idiot on the flying carpet. He's going to go in there. And he's still got his BSB alive. I've got Fanatics whizzing around doing damage to everybody there.
He's in.
Yeah, so there's the charge. He's going to make it into my level 4.
Mum's tape measure out.
He's getting out.
I don't know how he's going to get up there and hit him on the carpet.
He's going to chew the carpet up.
Yeah, chew the carpet. Is that all the charge? Then I'm going to move Fanatics.
Oh, then you move
a bit of sound from in game there. The Fanatics are whizzing around. I've got 6 Fanatics in this army. I think anybody who takes more than 3 Fanatics is a bit of a wanker. That's me. That's why I got 6. I'm thinking of putting in 9 if I'm going to keep running Goblins. We need something besides harsh language. The Wolf Riders are poised to go into the Iron Drake, so we're going to have to do it. I tried to move up so they wouldn't get their stand and shoot, but I think they can stand and shoot anyway, even if you're within 9. And there's the King. He's going to finish off these Squig Hoppers. I'm pretty happy. The Squig Hoppers have done pretty well. So, and then the King's going to kill them. But they did better than I thought they would. So I'll have to keep them in the list. Try and see if I can keep affording 10. This Doom Seeker's into some more Night Goblins, and I'm in trouble there. So that's the other unit. I have Baldy, one of the Goblin bosses, is in there as well, and he can't get into combat. So the King finishes off my Squig Hoppers, but the Squig Hopper mission was done. They did well. And then there's the Iron Drakes, the bane of my existence. Those Iron Drakes, they're so good. At strength 5 they are shooting. Get pretty lucky here. They only kill about 3 of my Wolf Riders. So I've lost about 3 Wolf Riders. The Chariot's there as well, so I just want to get stuck into those Iron Drakes and see what we can do. I've got my 2 Goblin heroes with magic weapons are in there, so they should be able to do a bit of damage. The King's standing here with his shield bearers on his own, so I'm just going to spin around and shoot him with the Spider Riders, but there's not much I can do there. So this army's pretty good, but it's just I feel like I'm getting overrun. My shooting and magic and Fanatics have done well, so there's Baldy there. He's not in combat there. Fanatics doing their job, and so on. And oops, I might have missed this bit somewhere. Got lost somewhere. This Doom Seeker kills my level 4, and then he overruns into the flank of the Night Goblins.
Turn 5.
Alright, well, if you've made it this far, well done. We're up to turn 5 and 6. So the Wolf Riders, they've come this far, so they're going to go into the Iron Drakes. I've got Walloper with his Walloper's one-hit wonder, and Smarty Pants with the choppiest chopper. They're going to go in there with the Chariot, and my opponent's trying to decide who he's going to stand and shoot at, but we decided the best idea is to shoot at the squishier Wolf Riders, because they're only toughness 3. So they stand and shoot, and then we go in. We pass our panic test from the stand and shoot casualties, and they go in. Just make it in. They're my spider riders. I've done well here. I've just parked them in front of the king to tie him up, and they do a couple of wounds to the king. And then there's the combat. The wolf riders do pretty well. They kill all but one of the iron drakes. And at this point, my opponent's very sad that all his iron drakes are dead. But then I remind him that he killed 6 with the stand and shoot. And his last guy, the champion, killed 1. So he's killed 7, and we've killed 9. And then he remembers that they're stubborn as well. They're iron drakes. They're so good. They're the best dwarf unit. All that fantastic shooting. Stand and shoot, and strength 5 shooting. And then they're stubborn on top of that. So the wolf riders decimated them, but they're still around. And then the king's going to get stuck into the spider riders. He's going to kill them, although the spider riders did do a couple of wounds with their poison shooting. So that was pretty good. But we're just trying to tie the king up, and then the king's going to get stuck into my war machines after this. And then finally in turn 6 we finish off that champion. So we've killed the iron drakes. I don't know what happens to that chariot. Is he free to move off then? There's nobody. You can't overrun into anybody. Anyway, it didn't matter. That guy dies, and a few fanatics still whizzing about. There's one left there, nearly off the table. And that's pretty much it. So to work out the points, I think the dwarves have had a victory. I think that shaman lives. This shaman died with all those... so I've lost both my units of night goblins. I've lost my squig hoppers. I've lost a couple of chariots. I've lost Shazag the idiot on his flying carpet. I've lost most of my wolf riders and one of the units of spider riders. So I've lost quite a bit. And I think the stone thrower's still alive, but the king gets up. I think he destroys one of the doom divers as well. So I've taken quite a lot of casualties, and I've lost my general as well, that doom seeker. So the dwarves have done well. I think we killed the king's unit, but we didn't kill the king. We killed the BSB's unit, and I don't know if we killed the Doom Seekers, but they did quite a bit of work. I've lost one of the Goblin characters because he was in Baldy. He was in one of the Night Goblin units. So, but it was a good game. I think my plans for whizzing around the flanks with the Wolf Riders wasn't so good on Battle for the Pass versus Dwarves. And I think in maybe the last turn I decided to turn my Doom Divers onto the... the bloody anvil. Yeah, I shot the anvil with the doom divers and got rid of the anvil. I should have done that earlier on because the anvil was causing me a lot of problems with the extra movement and zapping things to finish off chariots and so on. So I probably should have concentrated on the anvil earlier. That's hindsight for you. As for the list, I think it was a bit of fun. 6 fanatics kept them at bay. I mean, I was thinking all the time, the dwarves are coming at me. That cart makes them move faster, and the Doom Seekers. And I'm thinking, I just don't have any combat punch. I missed my Black Orcs and the Wyvern. At least maybe I could have got on a flank with the Wyvern, maybe. Not that the Wyvern's like a dragon, but it's a poor man's dragon. But at least it's a threat. And it can take a bit of shooting from the Iron Drakes. Yeah, but it was good fun. The characters in the Wolf Riders did okay in the end, but it was pretty much a solid victory to the dwarves. Although the Squig Hoppers did okay, the Wolf Riders did okay. The Night Goblins, they release their fanatics and then they just die as usual. And I was a bit surprised by the Doom Seekers. They got stuck in and did a lot of damage, and then 360 charge and their extra D3, it's hard to contain them. So they might be a good addition to your dwarf army. If you're thinking about it, try them out. I think they were pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Now this was part of a 2-game tournament, and there was an odd number, so I fell on my sword and took the bye in the second round. So that's all the reports from this day. But it was a good, interesting, trying out the Goblin heroes was a bit of fun. Maybe we'll return to that. Maybe we need some more punch. Not sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching another Creaky Gamers production. We hope it wasn't too bad. Please support the channel, like and subscribe, leave a comment below, especially if they stuff up the rules again. Do it now. Don't let them get away with it.